guys, thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing and quickly looking into why the iPhone XR is still a worthy competitor in 2021 and why you should still consider buying one. What we're going to be discussing in this video is 5 main reasons why you should consider buying one if you're in the market looking to upgrade a phone, especially if you have an older generation iPhone like an iPhone 7, 8. This would still be a great competitor, and we're going to be discussing why this has the best features out there that you can buy in almost any modern phone at a fraction of the cost. So the first thing that I'm going to be discussing is going to be the performance. Now the iPhone XR has the A12 Bionic Chip. The A12 Bionic Chip is actually the same chip that's found in you can see the Pro version of this phone, which is the iPhone XS. The XS and the XR came out in September 2018, so they were announced side to side, and they both hold the same chip. The A12 Bionic is actually a 7nm chip, which is very advanced for its time. Even 2.5 years ago, 7nm chips were something rare, and nowadays you can find phones with 8nm chips. So for its time, this was a very advanced phone, and even right now, this is a very advanced phone. This actually also comes with 3 gigs of RAM. The iPhone XS has 4 gigs of RAM. That's about one of the, I think, major differences where you might see a little bit of a performance, not a performance issue, but maybe a half a second lag in opening apps. And I think that's about it. I use both phones on pretty much a daily basis, and honestly, I've never really noticed anything. I've seen friends of mine playing Fortnite, PUBG, Minecraft without any lag at all. So if you're worried that this phone will not have performance, that's not something that you have to worry about. This is a great phone. Even right now in 2021, this is an amazing performing phone that will not disappoint. So the second reason that I wanted to discuss is Face ID. Now this is one of the cheapest phones, or actually I think the cheapest phone that Apple makes that supports Face ID. Face ID is facial recognition software, which means that you are allowed to unlock your phone with your face on it. The Face ID on the Apple devices, on iPhones, is one of the best that I've seen out of any other phone. So if you compare this to, let's say, the Samsung Galaxy, the latest one, you can actually see that it's not as accurate and it's not as fast either. Face ID on the iPhone is, I believe, the best. It will adapt to your appearance, so it gets better over time, which is what I'm trying to say. So that's the second reason why I think a lot of people should consider buying this one, because Face ID, amazing technology. The third reason is going to be the cameras. It has only one camera as opposed to 2 cameras, which a lot of the other phones have nowadays. The iPhone XS has 2 cameras, the iPhone 11, the iPhone 12, they all have 2 cameras. Almost every phone nowadays has 2 cameras. I personally don't really see the use of it. This is a really great camera on its own. It's capable of recording 4K, 24, 30, and 60, which is amazing. You don't see this with a lot of phones, and honestly speaking, 1080 is more than enough. Full HD is what most people film in nowadays. So if you're looking for a phone that has filmmaking capabilities, or if you're trying to start vlogging with this is an amazing phone, because not only does it have 60, but it also has 24 FPS, which is the recommended frame rate to use when you're vlogging on an everyday basis. It gives you a more cinematic look. It gives you a little bit more of that cinema style video. So it has the capability of actually filming in 4K, not only that, but as well as full HD. You can choose between them, which is, I believe, is amazing. And in slow-mo, you actually have the capability of HD 240 FPS. This is something that I mentioned before. 240 FPS is not a joke. A lot of high-end cameras don't have the capability of filming in 240 FPS. The iPhone XR does. And it also has portrait mode, which allows you to focus something and actually give it that bokeh effect. I'll put up some examples to show you guys what I'm talking about. Those pictures that you saw were taken from this phone. As you can see, you have a really good background blur. And once you take a picture, you're actually able to edit it so you could adjust the background blur to it, which makes the picture kind of pop more depending on what you've taken. Reason number 4 why you should still consider buying this is actually the iOS 14, or in other words, it supports the latest and the greatest of the softwares out there. So generally speaking, this supports iOS 14. So it currently has 14.4.1. I believe there is a new software coming up. I believe iOS 14.5, I believe, is around the corner, which will maybe provide us more security features. But in other words, this still supports the greatest, the latest of the software side of things. So if you're worried that this may not be updated and it may not support the latest software, you don't have to worry about that at all. This supports iOS 14, and it will keep supporting the further coming software updates. Unless it's announced by iPhone, it usually is not supported after maybe 5 or 6 generations of the phone. So to give you guys an example, on the iPhone 6, you can still actually get iOS 13. So iPhone 6 came out in 2014, I believe, 2013 or 2014, something like that. And it's still compatible with iOS 13, which came out last year. So you can calculate for yourselves, you can actually judge for yourselves that it still will support the latest and the greatest of the softwares out there. And reason number 5, the last reason why you should still consider buying an iPhone XR is the battery life. The battery life is amazing. This actually supports a 2,942 milliamp battery. You can round that up to 3,000. It's pretty much, it was going to give you all day charging. The capacity of this battery is about at 95%. I've been using this for about 6-7 months now. It still has a great battery life. Right now, the battery life is at 42%. I charged this in the morning. It's 11 p.m. now, and it still has about half of the battery life. So I use it regularly, and it still has about half of the battery, which is amazing. So it's not a bad battery at all. This phone is 6.1 inches, so it is not a very small phone, but it's not a hugely big phone either. So it's not going to be something that is going to bother you. I think the size is just right. One of the reasons why they introduced the iPhone mini was because a lot of people don't like bigger phones. So that is something that at the end of the day comes to your own preference. I can easily use this with one hand. I have no problem at all. I'm able to almost cover the entire surface with one. That's one of the other things that maybe you guys want to consider when buying the phone. The size is actually great. So a few additional features that I personally wanted to mention is that you have the choice of colors. The iPhone XR comes in, I think, 6 colors. It comes in black, white, coral, yellow, blue, and then this red one. This red one I think is the best looking color. I personally really like red, so this is the product red iPhone. Most of the other iPhones come in 2 or 3 colors. So the iPhone XS, if you're looking at that, you have the space gray, you have the silver, and then you have the gold color to choose from. Those are the only 3 colors that you get out of those. But if you look at the iPhone XR, you actually have a wide option of colors, which may be something that you're into. And this phone is actually also IP67 resistant, which means it's water resistant for, I think, 1 meter of water. The iPhone XS is IP68 water and dust resistant, which means that you can dunk it in 3 meters of water for 30 minutes without having any damage to it. It's not a bad feature. We're not going to be using the phone inside the pool. This is just in case you drop your phone in water. You're able to save your phone. If something like that happens, you can quickly rinse it off and you have nothing to worry about. Now, we're going to speak about the pricing and we're going to see if it's actually worth it. The pricing of the iPhone XR nowadays, the official pricing, is between $499 to $549. The pricing depends on what memory you get. So this phone comes with 64 GB and 128 GB of internal storage. It does not come with 256 or 512 GB of storage. The iPhone XS does give you the option of 256 and 512. This is the 64 GB version, and If you want to buy and spend more money on the 128 version, that's honestly your option. But I use iCloud, which gives me additional storage at a very fair price. I think it's $3-4, something like that. It's pretty cheap. It's not really too expensive. So that's the option that I opted for. You can save a little bit of money and then buy the additional storage on iCloud if you want. These are some of the features that I wanted to discuss with you. And if you ask me if it's worth it, I think absolutely it's worth it. Nowadays, 2021, there's a lot of phones out there that are really, really expensive. If you look at the iPhone 12, that's gonna start at $800 and it's gonna take you up over $1,000 as well, So this is actually kind of like at a half of the cost of that. So, and it gives you almost the same features. You're not going to be missing out on anything. If you're an average consumer, you don't always have to have the latest and the greatest. And there's a value that you spend on some things that after a certain pricing, you're not really gonna get a lot of the things for the price that you're paying. You're mostly then paying only to have the latest thing in your hands. So I always opt for the older generations, especially if you have the iPhone 6, if you have the iPhone 7, this is a very, very good upgrade. You're going to feel the difference. It's day and night difference, especially if you're coming from those phones. Even if you have an iPhone, let's say a 10, I believe this still is a really good option because you do have that A12 Bionic, you have a few more colors, have a better battery life. So a very, very good iPhone in my opinion. That's basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys were able to make a decision. If you are in the market looking for a new phone, please consider the iPhone XR. Go try it out. If a friend of yours has it, go try it out, look at it, do some research on it, watch some more videos. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed the video. I hope that it helped you make a decision. If I did help you out somehow, please leave a like and consider subscribing. It really, really means a lot. If there's anything that I need to do differently, if there's anything that I need to change, please let me know. Your feedback is very valuable for me and it will make sure that I make better videos for you guys. So that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Peace out.